welcome back to the Ace Pop Podcast. I'm your host, Brendan Span, joined not by Ben today, but a past guest of the show, Calvin Pettigrew. Calvin, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm stoked for this episode. Looks like we got some good things planned. I'm down to talk for however long we need because I enjoy doing podcasts like this. So let's kick it off.
Yeah, we've got a great episode today. Glad that you're joining us. We're basically we've got lots of tournaments to talk about and a couple of new segments. We've got Goat Hill 303, and basically a bunch of tournaments happened this past weekend. So we got Goat Hill, the main one, Huck Central, and 303, and then we've got a little rundown of the OTB, some predictions. And some other things, some headlines. And then we have a couple new segments that will be mixing in there in between all that. But why don't we just kick it right off with Goat Hill? Calvin, tell us who won that thing.
Well, no surprise there. We got old Ricky Wysocki, Saki Bomb Wysocki taking it down with a whopping 40 down. Insane. He's still coming off that hot streak. He's won 4 of the last 5 events he's played in. And I mean, he started off the season with a good 5th place finish at Las Vegas Challenge, and then went and finished 11 down at Waco with a bunch of good rounds, just a couple bad holes that ruined his tournament. And then first at Belton, first at Texas State's. His Texas swing was just phenomenal.
I mean, his Texas swing was unlike any other.
Yeah, we could have seen that coming, though. He's in Texas. He's got a really good course or track record. And then moving on to Jonesboro, he got first again, second at DDO, and then another first at Goat Hill. He is on fire. He's so confident.
He is on fire this year. His worst finish is 11th, but let's be real. Waco was a fluke tournament this year around. I mean,
for a lot of people,
mile-an-hour wins. Nico won it, which is so rare for an event like that. Not even any of the, top-rated pros, but nothing against Nico. Great win for him, but just a little surprising there. But yeah, that 11th place finish, that one gets canceled out by all the firsts and the fifths and that 1 second at DDO. But overall, I would say,
something we cannot forget. He's now the highest-rated player in the world.
He is
Mr. Richard Wysocki.
Richard, I'm pretty sure Eagle, he dropped a couple points after that LVC. He went up after LVC, and then he kind of dropped a little bit after that. I think he might have a little bit of a back injury, but
of course he was tied, but now he's in the solo lead with 10:56, I think.
And also worth noting, Paul is not second anymore. Paul is third. Mr. Heim Borg himself is up there in second now, 1 point over Paul. So that's something also worth noting. If we look a little bit further down the leaderboard, not necessarily any further, but in second place we have Anthony Barella, a name that we haven't really seen at all this year. If we kind of look at his tournaments this year, a couple smaller tournaments, Shelly Sharp and Maricopa Open, he got third there. But then these NTs and these DGPTs, Silver Series, have been kind of killing him. He got 34th at LVC. He took down, he didn't take it down, but he got third at Memorial, and then 45th at Waco, 34th at Jonesboro, 38th at Mid-America, which I was a little surprised because Mid-America wasn't as big of a turnout as you would have expected. And then 22nd at DDO, but good to see him on top of the leaderboard. He started off his season pretty well, and he kind of lost it in the middle there, but I think he's looking to end off his season well. So that's a good second place finish from him at a tournament that he could win in the near future. Gavin Rathman, a young gun as well, just 4 strokes behind Anthony Barella, and then an interesting name that you don't usually see at the top of the leaderboard, Cade Philomahala, I think is how you say it. Philomahala,
something like that.
Philomahala. He's a name that if you've been following the game very closely with your microscope, you would see him this year. But he's 1002 rated, not 1022, 1002 rated. He's from Utah. I first ever saw him on some coverage of the Utah Open. So that was cool to see that. He is classified as an amateur on the PDGA, which is interesting. He's turned down over $2,800 this year to keep that classification amateur.
Goodness.
That's just insane. Mad respect for the young kid who is turning down that much money. He's not taking the temptation. He sees his eyes, and they are locked on the prize, that Junior Worlds trophy. He wants it so bad. I can only imagine how bad he wants that thing. And if you're turning down almost $3,000, then yeah, you're most likely wanting it very, very bad. So that's something that is worth noting there. Kate.
And let me cut in real here. Before we get too far, Anthony Barella actually did win this tournament last year. So he's seen success on this course before, and he had that added pressure of all eyes on him, as Ben Calloway would have said, all eyes on him for this tournament, being the previous winner, and it shows how good he does at this course.
Yeah,
course record.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's something that's worth noting. That's interesting. I wasn't really keeping up with disc golf around this time, or at least these tournaments. He shoots course record, and then Ricky said no, and he went the next day and shot course record 54. That's hot out there. But yeah, that's great for them. Ricky taking it down, big dub. Cade Filamenhala. And then if we look a little bit further down the leaderboard, Brody Smith killing it. He got 8th, and guess what? He finally gets to take home that USDGC spot. He's killing it this weekend. He made lead card after the first day. He shot a 56, and then his rounds after that weren't the greatest, but he still finished very well, 62 and a 66. Who cares about what he took home? The money-wise, that coveted USDGC spot is what he wanted most, and he got it. He finished.
Well, I mean, it's worth noting that he finished, I'm pretty sure, birdieing 6 for 6 on his last holes, and then went and birdied his playoff hole. So he had a goal in mind, and he accomplished it. I mean, he was very focused and executed really well towards the end there. He just choked a little bit in the beginning, but he eventually showed his skill towards the end.
Yeah, that's definitely something worth noting. And it's kind of been a storyline the past couple weeks. Brody, he's been really like on that line of getting a spot and not getting it. And now that he has it, he can relax a little bit. And that's one of his goals checked off the list. Next, he's looking for that first DGPT tourney dub. But yeah, that's definitely a storyline that we've kind of seen all year. Now, you might be interested. Well, where's Paul McBeth? Where's Eagle McMahon? Great question. They actually weren't at these tournaments. There was 2 other tournaments going on during this weekend: Huck Central and the 303 Open. I think those are kind of abbreviated, but the 2 other tournaments that were happening this weekend that most of the pros were attending. If we look over at Huck Central, we've got Chris Dickerson taking it down in a playoff over Paul McBeth. They both shot 36 under par. On their 3-round, or I believe it was a 4-rounder. Yeah, on their 4-round tournament. But yeah, Chris Dickerson beating in the playoff. Some notable names: Michael Johansson was there. He's taken out 4th, along with Andrew Fish, tied there for 4th, and then Zach Melton was also there. Also, not an MPO, but in MP40, we see Barry Schultz takes it down at 39 under par. That's great to see. An old one who is still out there killing it. But yeah, so Huck Central.
Before we leave, I need to do a shout out during this tournament. This year I battled someone by the name of Micah. I'm pretty sure it's Groff. And he was in this tournament, and he ended up getting, I'm pretty sure, 10th or maybe 12th or something like that. And he performed really well in this tournament and was able to meet all the pros, and he's been killing it. So keep your eye on that man. Shout out to him real quick. Micah Groff, I think is his name.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, Huck Central, an interesting tournament. I was kind of looking last week when I was prepping for the show, and I was like, where's everybody going to be this weekend? And I couldn't find Goat Hill, but I found this one, and I believe Hannah McBeth actually played in it. There was only 2 people in the FPO. I think someone else took it down, but overall, UG Central, I think it was in South Carolina, so that's great. Moving on to 303. Okay, this one is interesting. So 303, I believe, was in Colorado, and we have none other than the man himself, Mid America Open champion Kyle Klein, beating. I mean, you see Eagle McMahon getting beat by his apprentice. You've got Kyle Klein beating Eagle McMahon, by 1 stroke, but still, Kyle Klein just showing up as the young gun on the professional scene and just killing it overall. But yeah, him and Eagle and Simon, they're basically 3 clones, but that's cool to see there. And then Joel Freeman taking out 3rd, and Nathan Queen was also there in 4th. So 303, just another little small tournament that some of the pros were at this weekend if they weren't playing Goat Hill. Now, as we move on, we're going to move into a new segment called Guess Who. Guess Who, the original game. Not necessarily, we're playing disc golf Guess Who. I've seen this on a couple other podcasts. It's fun to play, but we've got a little bit of a different twist on ours today. So how it's going to work is I have picked 3 players. So 3 players, 3 rounds. So we have 3 rounds. Each round, Calvin will be guessing for 1 player. So I will pick the 1 player, and Calvin will be guessing. Calvin will have 5 questions that he can ask me, and I can answer. Not necessarily yes or no questions, but just questions that might help him get closer to the bottom of this mystery of who this player is. And then he will have 2 guesses, or we'll move it up to 3. He'll have 3 guesses on who the player is. So if he thinks he knows, he can guess. And it should be fun. So an example would be, Calvin could ask, what is their current rating? And that might help him out in figuring out who the player is. So I've got my first one ready. Calvin, are you ready?
Absolutely.
All right. Just kick it off with your first question.
Okay. I'm going to go a little bit more specific with, are they in the top 5 rating wise for the with the overall PDGA ratings?
They are not.
Okay. Second, I have 5 questions, questions, right?
Yeah, 5 questions.
Okay, cool. My second question, is it MPO or FPO?
It is MPO.
Okay. So could I go as general as who is the sponsor, or do I have to pick a sponsor and say yes or no?
No, it's not necessarily yes or no. So yeah, you can say who is their sponsor.
Okay, who's the sponsor?
They are sponsored by Discraft.
Okay. Okay. That was 3 questions. I've got 2 more, and question.
You can also ask questions such as like how they finished at a tournament, if you remember that, or where they're from, or anything that regarding the person.
How did they finish at DDO?
At DDO, they finished 6th.
Okay. All right. I think I'm ready to guess the player's name.
All right, you've got 2 guesses. We've got 1 more remaining question. Go ahead and take your guess.
Okay. Benjamin Callaway is our number 1 round.
Yes, answer. Benjamin Callaway is the answer. Man, I did not think you were going to get that at first.
Okay.
Comes out with it. That's good. That was a tough one. That was definitely a tougher one. Benjamin Callaway kind of coming on the
good finishes recently. He's just hot on the mind. He's just been on the recent scene, so I've been thinking about him recently. Benjamin Callaway.
Yeah, he's been killing it. All right, on to round number 2. All right, you've got 1 point. I've got 0 points, but that's all good. This one might even it out a little bit. All right, go ahead and ask your first question.
Okay. MPO or FPO?
It is MPO.
Okay. All right. My second question is, who's their sponsor again?
Oh man. Okay, their sponsor is Prodigy.
Okay. Their sponsor is Prodigy. Do they have their name on a disc?
Yes.
Okay. That's 2
No,
questions. My third question is no, it didn't. Did they perform in the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship?
Like, did they play in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which means they had to be top 32.
Yes, they did play in it
last year. Okay.
One more question, 2 more guesses.
Last question. Is this player a touring pro, as in he plays almost every event in the Disc Golf Pro Tour?
Yes.
Okay, is this player Kevin Jones?
That one didn't get you anywhere either. No, this player is not Kevin Jones.
Okay, so I've got one more player guess. Dang it. I'm trying to think of people. I can only think of like 2 or 3 Prodigy sponsored pros right now for some reason. Oh, is he my favorite Canadian player of all time, Thomas Gilbert?
You've already met. Oh, well, is that your question or is that your answer?
Answer.
Unfortunately, is not your favorite Canadian disc golfer of all time. And mine too. It is Chris Dickerson.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, Chris.
You really messed that one up.
Oh, that's so embarrassing.
You really messed
How did I
one
just
up.
blank?
You
I
really
did. I'm sorry,
Like,
Chris Dickentenders, a man from my own state. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's too funny.
That's embarrassing. All right, on to the next one. You got a point.
All right, we're
Congratulations.
evening it out here. Winner take all. We've got the third player. Calvin, go ahead and run it.
Okay. Again, who's the sponsor?
The sponsor is Discmania.
Okay.
That really narrows it down.
Is it one of the Crush Boys?
State the Crush Boys.
3 people. Kyle Klein, Eagle McMahon, Simon Lizotte.
It is one of the Crush Boys. That's not good.
Okay. All right, easy dub for me. All right, I have 2 guesses. I'll go ahead and guess one. Is it Kyle Klein?
It is Kyle Klein. Dang it, I thought I was going to get you on that one.
Let's go.
The Discmania,
Too easy.
The Discmania sponsorship just messed it all up because there's no one really sponsored by Discmania. The Crush Boys just really.
Let's do a final round of just yes or no questions.
Okay, final round.
Someone, or no, I'll pick this time. I want you to have a chance for redemption. I'll pick someone, and you have to guess. Okay. All right. Let me figure out someone real quick.
It's different this way.
It is. Okay.
You got him?
Go ahead.
Okay. Just yes or no. Dang, this is tough. This is super tough. Are they Wait, no, that's a dumb question. Are
No,
they?
no. You can guess whatever kind of guess you want. You're probably not even gonna guess it with normal guesses, so you can guess however you want.
Okay, good. What is their rating?
Oh, okay. Let me look it up real quick. Should take just a second. Let me see. Let me see. Here, ask another question, then I'll pull that one up for you in a second.
Are they sponsored?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't some like someone that we knew. You weren't just tricking me. Okay. They're sponsored.
So the rating for this
did I just get a little
individual.
giveaway?
No. 909.
Definitely an FPO player. You just said she.
Okay. Maybe.
Okay.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. You did.
Might have sounded like I said her, but that's not what I was saying.
Okay, sure.
Okay, continue.
Who are they sponsored by?
Innova Discs. That was 4 questions, I'm pretty sure. So you got one more question.
That was three. Rating. Sponsored
by. Are they sponsored?
Yeah, that's 3. That was just 3.
Whatever. I'll give you 2 more.
Okay. This is tough. 909. It's gotta be FPO, right? Okay.
Juniors, FPO.
Oh yeah, it could be a junior.
Street team.
I'll
even give you 10 guesses. You're not gonna guess it.
Who are they sponsored by? Did I already ask that?
Innova.
Oh my gosh. Wait. I don't want to use one of my guesses, but I also think it'd be really cool if I got it right on one of these guesses. But this person is definitely
Okay, you're not going to. But
no, I'm not gonna guess. Okay.
I would save it.
Golly, this is so tough. What division do they mostly play in?
FPO.
Okay, it is confirmed an FPO player. Golly, dude. So they play FPO, sponsored by Innova. It can't be Haley King. Haley King's got to be like better than that, right? Higher rated.
That's Discraft.
Oh, and that's this. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm thinking.
I didn't know this player was sponsored by Innova, to be honest. So that tidbit doesn't really help that much.
Okay.
I mean, I'll give you more. I'll give you more guesses.
Okay, yeah, give me 10
or whatever, or than just 5. Okay, that's fine. Just keep spit them out.
Okay. What is?
Got 6 more.
Do they have a signature disc? Wait, that's an idiotic question.
No, they don't.
Okay, so they can't be that good. 909, sponsored by Innova. I was about to ask, is their form weird? But every FPO player's form is weird.
Okay.
Crap, this isn't getting me anywhere. How did they finish in their latest tournament? Or what was their latest tournament and how did they finish?
Their latest tournament was the DDO.
How did they finished
15th. That's 2 questions. So now you're at the 4 questions left.
I'm not keeping up that far down the FPL leaderboard. sponsored by Innova 909. There's not that many people sponsored by Innova.
As far as you know. Don't look it up.
I'm not. I'm staring over.
You still got 4 more questions.
Okay. What the heck? Do they have This is so tough. FPO2. Okay. Do they Golly, for some reason I feel like I should know this. For some reason the 909 rating rings a bell. Have they been on coverage recently?
You know, I'll give you recently. No. But they have been on coverage before.
Okay. Is this cheating? Can I ask what their name starts with?
That you have 3 more questions, and no, you can do that.
Okay, what's the first letter of their name?
Okay, you've still got 3 more, and it's K, and now you have 2 more.
K? K.
Yeah.
Wait, Kona's 2. No, Kona's higher rated than that. Wait, and she's not. Wait, is she Innova?
Yes, she is.
I feel like Kona would be higher rated.
Maybe.
Okay. First guess, Kona.
Wrong.
Oh.
2 more questions left.
2 more.
And 1 more guess.
Do they travel in a van?
Okay, as far as I know, yes, because I'll give you a little extra question. They are a touring pro.
They are. Okay, so
they are. Yeah, that's as much as I
know. This
is your last question. Use it wisely.
Like Kona. This is like Kona, but it's not.
Look, here, I'll even give you this bit of information that might help you. They tour with a MPO touring player. You have 1 more question and 1 more guess.
Okay, I think I got it. In Las Vegas, did the disc golf guy find them with their MPO touring person?
Yes, it did.
Cat merge.
Good job. You had a little extra help, but you got me. Oh, good job.
Okay. No disrespect, Nico.
That was a good segment.
that was lots of fun.
Yeah, we love you.
All right, we're gonna go over to OTB. The OTB Open got a little bit of a rundown. To kick it off, we've got Swenson Park is the location in Stockton, California, and it is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series. Jomez is going to be there. Gatekeeper is going to be there. GK Pro is going to be there. Maybe Central Coast Disc Golf. I think, Central Coast Disc Golf is going to be there. It's going to be awesome.
They haven't announced the cards or anything, but yeah, if it's on anything on the West Coast, Central Coast will be there.
Wait, did you say? I'm pretty sure they have announced the cards.
Let me look. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, they announced the cards. I'm pretty sure lead card is going to be Paul.
Here we go. Yeah.
Run us through that Jomez lead card.
Well, I'll go through all the cards. I mean, for DGN, it's going to be Ricky, Nate, Jeff Faes, Faes. I haven't heard of him. Simon Lazat. That's the DGN. And going on to the FPO DGN card, it's Katrina Onscoggins, Nicole Bradley, and Juliana Corver. And then Jomez will be Paul, Ezra, Calvin, and James Proctor. And then Gatekeeper is an Austin Hoop, Greg Barsby, Eagle, McMahon and Alex Russell. And then GK Pro feature card is Paige Pierce, Madison Walker, Ella Hansen, Holly Finley.
Oh,
and then
okay.
rounding it out.
So no Central Coast, but OTB.
Wait, OTB?
Covering. That's interesting. I've never seen that before.
OTB is covering. Yeah, me neither. That's actually extremely surprising. I don't know if they have a partnership with Central Coast to get that covered.
Looks like they have their own.
I don't know, but it's going to be
with...
Holland Hanley,
wow.
Jessica Weiss, Missy Gannon, and Ella Winboom. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it looks like they have their own YouTube channel, and it has under 1,000 subscribers. Wow, that's crazy. That'll be fun to see that. I don't usually watch a lot of FPO coverage, but I might have to check some of that out if they're gonna be doing that
Absolutely.
chase card. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown. Now, moving on to some predictions. All right, we've got one FPO, one MPO prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin, who is your FPO prediction?
Okay. My FPO prediction for this week, I'm kind of back and forth between two different people. The two people I'm back and forth between are Haley King.
Haley King isn't going to be
there. Okay, that makes my decision then. Then it's Katrina Allen. That's going to be my pick, because it's this course is a little too much, has a little bit much emphasis put on gap hitting, and that is not one of Paige Pierce's strong suit. Even though it is a really long course, that's why I picked Katrina Allen over some of the other gap hitters. But that's why I think she'll do better than Katrina Allen on this course.
I'm actually going with the person who you said you're not going to go with. I was actually originally going to go with Haley King, realized she wasn't playing, so now I'm going with Paige Pierce.
Right.
I mean, if I could have gone with Katrina, I would have, but I'll go with Paige. She can rip the disc, and I think that her distance will give her a little bit of an edge over Katrina, even though her gap hitting might not be as well. Hopefully her putting's on, and you never know. She may come out with the dub. Her first dub.
I would normally say
LVC.
that's the cheap pick because she's considered the GOAT, but recently I don't know if that's the case. So Katrina, yeah, that's who I'm going with, but Paige Pierce is also.
I think
she'll be right up there with him if she doesn't win.
This has been one of the first weeks in a while, and probably one of the last weeks where you'll see Paige Pierce and Katrina Allen both being picked. I mean, that was basically all that happened, and now, we're considering other players. I considered going with Kona for a second.
There's been so much parity.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. FPO field's been exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's not who's gonna win, Paige or Katrina. It's, really, what's gonna happen. And with the more FPO coverage in GK Pro, and Central Coast, that's
OTB.
awesome. Yeah, and OTB for the first time maybe. It's going to be cool to it's growing their side of the sport more, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have a women's global something this year, so that's going to be awesome.
I'm not sure when that is, but yeah,
I think it's later in the year, maybe October-ish, but
it's coming up. Or wait, women's USD. They have I think they have a women's USDGC or women's or national championship, and then I'm not entirely sure how all that works, but I know they have something big coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
So now people are preparing for that. That may be why Haley's not playing this event, is because she's trying to prepare for that event.
Maybe. Yeah, I think she did qualify for that, and I was wondering if it was this week or not, but I don't believe it is. I think it's in the coming weeks. My MPO prediction is Ricky Wysocki. Why not? I mean, honestly, there's no one else. Why would you pick anyone else when he literally he's won 4 of his last 5. He's had one outside of the top 5 finish, out of the top 5 finish. So I'm going Ricky this week, and it's a ripper course, so why not hit up Saki Bomb?
You can never count him out. Yep. For me, yeah, it was kind of another split decision. Ricky. I mean, it's really hard to count against Ricky and his just ability recently and his just momentum coming into this event, but just knowing the player Calvin is, he can throw so far while throwing so low and so straight that this course will set up really, really well for him. Ricky Wysocki's also really good at this, but this is something that Calvin excels that more than any other MPO player. And if he gets his putt right for this week, I think he'll be an unstoppable force for this course.
Yeah, I would say I think Ricky's really good. Ricky is one of the best in this game, and he is really good at hyzers with the driver and anhyzers with the driver. And he even has a ton of distance. But Calvin is just so good at making this game simple and throwing it far with, eagles and other discs like that. So I think Calvin's a great pick for this course, and he has tons of control. I was watching a little bit of that Jomez practice round, and the first couple holes are just like roller holes. It was just crazy, But yeah, I think overall the predictions are pretty standard. No Paul, but Paige, Kat, Ricky, and Calvin. Some good picks. Moving on to some headlines. We've got the return of the Smash Bros. Not the return of the Jedi. You're on the wrong YouTube channel. We have the return of the Smash Bros. Simon Lizotte is returning this weekend at the OTB Open. And boy, is it going to be awesome. So, we haven't seen Simon since 2016. No. Wrong year. 2020.
Wait, what are you saying?
I don't know where I got 2016 from. 2020 USDGC was the last time we saw him. He shot 18 over. His injury was lurking.
Yeah. That was a tough tournament for him, and he was planning on playing DGPT, but his injury was just too bad for that event for him to take play in that event. But yeah, he looks like he's doing really well, and I'm excited to watch him during this tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's his first event in 2021, or at least his first sanctioned one. So that's going to be awesome to see. He hasn't played in a while competitively. So, it's going to be awesome to see Simon return, especially since he's going to be on that feature card for DGPT on the first day. But kind of to round out this episode of the Ace Pot Podcast, we've got a new fun segment we like to call Simon Says. So basically, I'm going to say a statement, Calvin, and you will either agree or disagree with the statement, and you can say why. Simon coming back, we want to know what he's going to do. Is he going to be the same old Simon, crushing drives, or maybe a little bit less than that? So this is going to tell you, not necessarily, but also Simon never said any of these things. It just, Simon Says, it was kind of a funny pun and play on words. So we decided to go with it. But anyway, Simon says an under par finish.
This is a fun. Well, no, not really. I mean, he will definitely have an under par finish, but I'm just not sure how hot even the winner's gonna get on this course, because this course looks so challenging. But yeah, I definitely do think he'll get an under par finish. He's good enough, and with his new, he can't throw over everything, and his safe game now that he's taken everything slower, I think will actually do really well for him.
Yeah,
so yes, I think he will have an under par finish.
I think watching him, he went and played with Paul McBeth at Paul McBeth's new course, New London, and watching him shoot so well on a course where he was throwing so smooth, and yet he was still throwing so well. So that was cool. To see that, and to see that he's back. He's not just throwing P2s, at a little par 3 course. But yeah, so next up, Simon says a lead card appearance. Now he is going to be on the feature card. I'm talking Jomez.
I know. Yeah.
Gatekeeper. So will we see a lead card appearance from Simon this weekend?
I honestly, I kind of don't think he'll make lead card. I do think he could possibly get chase card, but that lead card is not going to be very easy his first tournament back. Yeah, no to the lead card appearance. But I do think he'll finish fairly well, but yeah, no lead card.
All right. Simon says a hot round.
A hot round is in like the hot round?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
No
Too many
hot
people
round.
are at the top of their game right now, and I don't think he's in that state where he's pumping out the best rounds of his life yet.
Yeah, I think this weekend is really just a trial run for Simon. See how he's feeling. If his elbow is not really feeling well after the weekend, he might have to take a couple more weeks off, maybe in a couple more months, just be fully recovered, maybe not even throw a disc, and be fully recovered, and might just have to take off the whole season, depending on how this one goes. So, yeah, definitely a trial run. Next up, Simon says over or under 15 forehands over all of the weekend. I know.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I know forehands not the greatest for your elbow. I think Simon knows how to throw them right, but that also could be messing with him. So over under 15 forehands, that's kind of a tough one.
Yeah, I would normally, if I haven't been keeping up with his his journey to recovery, I would say definitely under 15 forehands. But I've seen so much that he's actually worked on his forehand a lot more than he did, and his forehand, especially his forehand approach game, which I think will easily get him over 15 forehands over the 3 rounds, will get him over 15. I mean, he may not be throwing distance forehands, and that makes total sense, but his forehand approach game, I think, is something he's worked on a lot, and I think will come in handy for this tournament. So yes,
I think something with Simon is he doesn't, he's so good with that backhand approach.
Yeah.
If you watch any of his YouTube videos, he does that lean back, Anheuser putter shot like I was talking about earlier, and it's so easy for him. And that's something
that a lot of people can do. He can give the basket a run like he does in his videos, and he can keep it close. It's very impressive.
I think seeing him throw some forehands, especially upshot forehands, will be cool to see that. All right. The question everyone wants to know the answer to. Simon says 550 foot plus throw.
Okay, so for this one, I don't think he'll get a 600 foot or 550 foot air shot. However, I do think he'll get. He's so good at those distance rollers. I mean, take hole, I think 14. 14 at Emporia Country Club, for instance. He went OB long on that hole with a roller.
Crazy.
I mean, he has ridiculously far rollers. Him and his Crush Bro Eagle. But I think that'll be the only way he's getting over 600 this weekend. I mean, he could, but with his new game plan, I don't think he's getting an air shot, and I do think he could get a roller with how well this course sets up to rollers. So yes, I think he'll get over 600.
That's definitely something worth noting. Like, since he can't throw it very far, this game or this course suits very well for his game in its state right now, because he can just lay down a roller on most of the holes.
Yep.
So that could maybe even lead to a hot round or a lead card appearance. You never know, but yes, I think that will be something that is definitely going to be you want to look for this weekend. All right, 2 more. Simon says making the cash line.
Okay. Yes, definitely. He's definitely making the cash line, in my opinion. I think, for how far this course is, he really knows how to play well in distance, even though he's not getting all the distance. In my opinion, I think he'll make the cash line.
All right, sort of a similar question here, but not necessarily, maybe a little bit closer. Simon says top 15 finish.
Yeah, this one I don't think he'll get top 15, but I do think he'll be close. I think he'll get top 20. I think he'll get somewhere in that 16, 17, 18 range. I just don't think, with how little he's had to play, that he'll have the consistency over the 3 rounds to get that top 15 because it's so hard these days to get into that top 15 with how much parity there is in that highest level MPO field.
Yeah, I would definitely agree, and that's gonna wrap up our Simon Says segment there. Now Simon could win this tournament, and we will be shamed on social media forever. We'll look like stupid idiots. But that's some of Calvin's predictions. You kind of heard a little bit of mine, and we said that was gonna wrap up the show, but we got one little last thing. Calvin, you were telling me earlier, we were talking about this new line of Discmania discs. I don't know a lot about them, but if you could just run us through them, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, so I'm actually really excited about these because I love Innova and Discmania, but that's just my preference. Discmania is finally coming out with some new discs, and after their huge success with the Tilt, they've kind of gone with that same trend of like just ridiculously overstable discs in each, say, category, like fairway, mid-range, putter. So they're coming out, or they've announced recently the Splice, which we saw Eagle McMahon throwing a lot at Jonesboro.
He's been using that. I did see him throwing that one.
Yeah, he was loving that. Just super overstable fairway.
Yeah, fairway.
I think it is because he said it was no, it's a fairway. It's like a really overstable FD3. It looks super flat, but yeah, it looks. He said it was nowhere close to the Tilt and how ridiculously overstable, and it has a little bit more glide. But yeah, the Splice is that fairway spot, and then also the Mutant, which I'm pretty sure the big thing about that one is it doesn't have any rounded edges, which is really interesting, which makes it even more than their infamous super overstable mid-range, the MD5, and I've heard positive reviews on this one, and I'm excited to throw this one myself. Eagle has said that he enjoys that mid-range. And then another disc that's already technically been out, but the new run of it will make it almost like a new disc. The Razor Claw, which is the Tactic, I'm pretty sure, but they're coming out, or they made a run that it has way less glide. So, because Eagle didn't even want to use the Tactic the first run, so they made a second run with less glide, so he has a more reliable up and down without it going too far past or anything like that, and made it a little bit more overstable. So I'm excited to throw all these discs. And then the last disc is the Logic, which I'm not really sure what to compare it to. Maybe like a Warden or a something like that. Just a pretty straight, glidey putter. I'm interested to see how people like this. I'm not really sure that people say that this is a spot that was filled, but Simon said he was using this for touch forehand approach shots, but I don't know. I'm excited for what Discmania has in store this year.
That's cool. Seeing they're coming out with a new line. I don't necessarily keep up with Discmania's drops or discs a whole ton, but that sounds like a lot of fun if you're in Discmania or Innova, or even if you're wanting to support Eagle or Simon or any of those guys over there at Discmania. I'm sure they're going to have some special runs of those discs. And Calvin, that's going to wrap up episode 4 of the Ace Pop podcast. Awesome having you on. You're back. I might have to have a board meeting to see if we can hire you full time. Such a joy to have you on, as always. And that's going to wrap up episode 4 of the Ace Pop podcast. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one. See you later.